Good morning, everyone. It's Melissa with Build a Better Bakery. I'm so excited to have you here today for this hashtag Thursday Fave session. If you are seeing these first couple seconds of the video, you're probably on the hashtag replay. So go ahead and throw your hashtag replay into the comment box so that I know that you've seen the content today. Now, if you like these sessions and you want to be live for them, or you just want more information about when they're happening, you have a couple options. You can join the email list, put a comment in the comment box, or send me a message on Facebook, and I'll give you the link to do that. You can send me a friend request on Facebook, I'll accept it, and then I can invite you to these live sessions if you're inside the group. You can set your own alarm for 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every Thursday. I come into the group live with you and do this every week that I can. We didn't do it last week because I was on vacation, but most of the time I'm here on Thursdays. Or you can also check the events inside the group. I usually post Mondays, Tuesdays, I try to, for each week with our new topic. Okay, so those are how you can show up live. Hey, Lori, good to see you. Now, if you are here live with me like Lori, you'll always throw in your hashtag live so I know you're here and you are ready to talk about our discussion today. We're going to be talking about marketing in rural versus urban environments. I got a question, actually I got a couple questions from people entering the group recently, and they said, I live in a rural place and I'm having trouble getting some traction. What should I do? And I'm also having other bakers saying, I live in a saturated market. Ooh, there's a little floaty. I live in a saturated market in a large community, like a large city. I can't stand out. What am I supposed to do? So I want to give you one strategy for each of them that I have seen work over the last couple decades, working inside of different size bakeries throughout the US and owning my own business in different sizes of, different population sizes. So we'll touch on that today. Before we hop into that, I have a little announcement for the hashtag Friday giveaway. We do one of these every week inside the group. Pop into the group tomorrow to see the new post so that you can enter. Our winner from the last one that I posted is Megan Bartley, so congrats to her. I'll be sending her a message about her gift that I would like to give her. And everyone's eligible in the group to enter, so all you have to do is just post on the thread when you see it go up on Fridays, and then the next week on Thursday during the hashtag Thursday Fave session that you're at right now, that's when I announce the winner from that. So you have all week to enter those. Alrighty, now let's hop into the topic. Marketing in rural versus urban locations. Hey, Jeanette, good to see you. Hey, Tina. Yay, I'm glad you're all here today. Great. Yeah, if you have questions as we go through this, let me know. All right, so as I mentioned, I've been asked, how do I sell in a rural location? How do I sell in a saturated urban market? Now, although these are larger separate topics, with our Thursday Fave sessions, I like to give you just a little bit of actionable information about larger topics so it can get your brain going and can give you some ideas of where to start. So I wanted to bring them both up today so I can do kind of a versus, right? So rural versus urban, and you can see the differences between the two and why I suggest this specific type of marketing strategy for these two locations. Now, a little bit about my background so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from here. I have worked in established bakeries for over the last 2 decades, just in the US. So different places inside of the US. And I'm usually working for them as their lead designer, sometimes like a pseudo manager type of deal, but usually I am focusing on the designing of the products and helping with, internal structure, hiring, that kind of stuff. And then also running my own businesses alongside of those positions. So I've worked in towns of around 550 or 5,500 people. I looked these up right before this, so I know these numbers are right. About 5,500 people all the way up to a city of 3 million. So very different communities. And I want to give you the biggest takeaways of what I've seen. And I've also worked in mid-size too. So like 1 million, like 300,000, those kinds of sizes. All right, let's start with rural locations. Rural locations thrive on connection. Connection is huge in these areas. I think one of your biggest hurdles working in a rural location is making sure that people know, like, and trust you, right? And then go on to tell their friends, their family, and their core group of people, because that's the biggest opportunity for you as a business owner if you can really get that know, like, trust going right away and then get them to tell other people. Because in rural locations, word of mouth is huge. You normally buy from someone that your friend suggested and or something similar to that situation. So that essentially means networking, right? Like at its core, getting to really know people, like actually really know people. So this could be kind of a hurdle for someone who's maybe a little shy or somebody who's not really good with social situations. This could be a little bit of a hurdle. But when you do those things, right, when you start networking and when you really get to know people and you care about them as a person, you start to make a really good name for yourself in the community as a business owner, if those are kind of your two of your core properties of your marketing strategy. And we also cover topics to help with this because there are things that build upon networking and getting to really know people that you would probably need a little bit of training in to understand it fully, like communication skills. This is one of the biggest things that I see people who are kind of shy or people who don't do well with conflict, that kind of stuff. Having a training on communication skills is really important because it helps you understand the basis of maybe how you're communicating, why you're communicating that way, and how you can come towards other people when they send you positive, negative feedback, whatever it is. It just helps kind of clear the air around communication and really helps when you run your business because then people know, like, and trust you better because you're communicating well. So there's a training similar to that. We also talk about customer retention, strategies for getting to know people and retaining their business over time. We cover a lot of this inside of the Elite program, just so that you know that's in there. Word travels fast. If you've ever lived in a small town, you know that word travels fast and everyone seems to find out about everything. So there's really no secrets in a small town, especially when it comes to business. People love to talk about businesses and what they're doing, either good or bad. So making sure that your customer experience and attached to that is your reputation is great, right? We want like shining star reputation for you in a rural community. It's just a huge deal for sales. So that's kind of where this networking is going to come in. So some examples of important things that you could try in a rural area are maybe attending some local events, right? In small towns, local events are the bee's knees. It's where people get together. It's where you see your friends. It's where the teens gather. It's where businesses kind of show off what they're doing because it's one of their only options. So being involved in local events is huge. Maybe having a visible or inviting sign or social presence if you don't have a storefront. That's big too, because we want people to know where you are, what you're doing. We don't want to hide in the shadows in a rural community. And then lastly, giving the community a chance to actually meet you in person and try to make a connection with you one-on-one. With COVID, that's been a problem. I realize that, but hopefully there's some options that you can kind of grab onto now to help this happen. So maybe you don't want to go to the local event or there aren't any. So maybe you can have some kind of meet and greet somewhere else. Maybe you can have a pop-up where people can come talk to you. Maybe you can, host some kind of little thing that helps people maybe pick a sample out or something like that, just to kind of get out there, show your face, and you're just really trying to make those connections. Another really good option for a small town is to partner with another small business. So this could be a person who's kind of dealing with the same audience. This could be someone that's maybe also another baker or someone kind of in the food industry. Whatever it is, partnering with them, especially if they've lived there for a while, is another really great option because they already probably have some networking and some connections in the community. So when you become linked with them, it really gets your name out there a lot faster because remember, everyone knows everyone knows everyone's business. So getting within the business community is a really great way to hop in, especially if you're new to the community or you haven't tried anything yet. Just connecting with another business owner is really good, would be really good for you, in my opinion. So go ahead and give that a try too. If you're nervous about connecting with people who are in your same industry, pick a different one. Pick a different industry, like a party planner or a venue, like a restaurant. Just put your name out there. Hey, I own this business. I really like your restaurant. I was just curious, could we have coffee and talk about the town? Maybe you could tell me how you do networking, whatever. Just, make a friend, that kind of thing. Okay. Now, one other thing to consider. Oh, and so we were talking about connecting with other business owners, super important. We also cover partnerships. So if you actually wanted to create a partnership with a contract and do that kind of thing with somebody, vendor events, we have a couple trainings on that. networking strategies, all of that's in the elites too. If you're curious about those topics and you want to get some more information about knocking those off the list and getting started with them. The other thing to consider in a small town is people are going to buy from you over and over because hopefully they've made a personal connection with you, but also there are fewer options. So you really want to make it easy for people to patron you consistently. You want that to be kind of a positive part of their routine. You want to make sure that when they're thinking about you and thinking about your business, that they really want to contribute to your business. So some examples could be maybe a reward system that you have set up for your local community, maybe offering a reliable menu. I usually suggest with menus having a couple kind of staple items that people can rely on that you'll have, and maybe changing some up maybe every couple months or every 6 months or something like that to bring something new to the table, but then having the reliable opportunity for them to view the menu or to know that there's a couple things on there that kind of stay the same. Some people just like consistency. So having that available, and then also offering consistent sales and accessibility to you as the business owner. People need that in a rural community. They like transparency. They don't want anything kind of sneaky weird. So just being accessible in general is a good thing for small towns. Hey, Allie, good to see ya. So networking is obviously important in urban areas too, right? I'm not going to say don't network. Of course, we're going to network, but there's another hurdle that I think deserves more attention right now to be talking about, like the two main strategies that I've seen, deserves more attention for the urban areas. So urban areas, if you think about who's actually purchasing, urban areas tend to have tourism, right? Normally there's some kind of either there's an airport or there's people coming in and out for conferences or people drive through the area or it's the capital or it's a really large city with some tourist attractions in it or sports, whatever. There's a lot of tourism normally in larger cities, and that means anonymous buyers. Okay, so if we're thinking small town, we're thinking like pretty much everyone knows everyone, you know, we're kind of dealing with the same people all the time. We want recurring revenue. We want consistent relationships. In the city, I don't think people have to rely on that as much because there's a lot of tourism and there's a lot of anonymous people. Because buyers in urban areas might not ever want to or even get a chance to get to know who you are, I wouldn't rely on that 100%. I would rely on something else to grab attention from the big crowd. So urban locations thrive on niche, really. That's where I would start, and then I would move out to networking and connection after that. So when you work somewhere that has a ton of options in your market, like an urban environment, you have to stand out. You just have to stand out. So before you can even have a chance to connect with somebody, they have to be able to pick you out of the crowd. So to stand out, you have to make sure your branding or your purpose or whatever you look like, first impression, is directly talking to a targeted group of patrons who will either be searching you out for that specific thing or are excited by your unique features when they go to search, usually through Google or something like that. So if you don't, this isn't the topic of this talk, but if you don't have like a Google business page, if you don't have a Facebook page, if you don't have a online presence, you are 100% missing out on a ton of business, definitely in the urban areas, because you have a lot of anonymous people who don't know who you are. So those things have to be up there so that when they search, you know, bakery, St. Louis, Missouri, into a search bar, something of yours comes up. Okay, we want that to come up. All right, so we need to be talking to this targeted audience. This means choosing a niche or a style that maybe isn't for everyone. Okay, we're not trying to make something for everyone. That's never a good thing to do in business. We want to have a target market, but something that a person of that persuasion would gravitate towards. Okay, or and like just throw money at. I'm going to give you an example of this. So think about something that you could offer that you just have people raving about or that you look for when you go to big cities, whatever it is. So let's take that example. So think about when you look for a restaurant in a city. You know, you're going to Google, you're going to put something in. A lot of times I'll put ethnic restaurant or I'll put Thai restaurant or something like that into a search when I'm looking for a place to eat in a place that I don't know anything about. There are going to be hundreds of options. like way more than a person could ever really take in. An example, I went to a place recently and I looked up Ethiopian restaurant, and usually there's like one, but this place had 9. I don't know how. They had 9, and it was even hard to pick because none of them had really like they had the Ethiopian niche, but they hadn't given me anything extra to connect with in the pictures or in the writing, which is a whole other topic. But let's say there's hundreds of options for bakers, okay? Because we're talking about bakers. So why would they want to pick you? Think about why they would want to pick you. Usually it's your vibe. Usually it's a photo. Usually it's a little bit about how you're describing your business, that niche that target that you're trying to hit. I'm going to give you another quick example because it sticks in my mind as perfect what I'm talking about here. It's a little extreme, but I think you'll get what I'm saying. So I went to a small city for a conference recently, and I saw a salon. But it wasn't a regular salon. It was a Halloween salon. And I can't remember the name of it. It was some kind of cute name. But basically, it was a Halloween salon. So yes, I went to look inside. It was closed when I went there. But I went to look inside. It had gremlins from the movie Gremlins hanging from the rafters, like really nice replicas. All the hairdressers had black leather, aprons, and they were all hanging on the chairs. Everything was black and like really creepy. But that's super niche, right? Like it's a salon, you get a haircut. But what are we going to do? We're going to have it be a Halloween salon. I will never forget that place. And it draws attention because it's different. Yes, you get a haircut. That's the basis of it. You get cookies. That's the basis of your business. But how can it be different? I know people who live for Halloween. They live for it. That's like their whole thing. And they would literally, I know that if they found that, they would literally just throw money at the door to just get them to open the door. They just want the experience. And they also need a haircut. So, and maybe they don't need a haircut. I don't know. They just want to be in a place about Halloween. So think about what is something that you could kind of focus on that's, would bring in a target group. So if you're selling urban, you'll benefit from figuring out a niche that works for you and your audience. So it can't just be something you like. It has to be something that there are people who are drawn to that, and then making that shine. So some examples, maybe that's vegan only products, right? Maybe you just want to focus on that. Maybe you want to make glow in the dark items. Maybe that's your thing. Triple stuffed cookies, right? You want to go overboard on some kind of ingredient or recipe. Maybe you want to offer cultural and traditional items that pretty much no one else can do right, because it's your culture. So you know how to actually make a really good challah or something similar. Or maybe your storefront's open 24/7 and no other bakery's open 24/7. Or maybe you're open overnight, so you can hit on late night munchies and just people who have to get up really early for work, all that kind of stuff. Maybe you make really intricate fondant sculptures. That's something that no one else is really doing, and you show those off, and that's kind of the visual, the stunning visual, and then people come in and order product, but maybe they don't always get the sculpture, but that's the thing that you focus on. Maybe your products are all Christmas themed, right? Always Christmas time. This is something you could definitely do. It seems kind of funny, but it's the same as a Halloween salon, except all your stuff is Christmas all the time. We cover branding in full inside of the Elites because we want to help bakers understand how to make your business stand out from the crowd. And I know from personal experience that this can be difficult if you don't know where to start. Where do I actually start by coming up with these ideas? It really helps your name get up above that stack. So if you live in a place that's got 15 bakers, you need to get up above the stack for that target audience that is going to be searching you out. And so you can stand out from the crowd. We want you to be speaking to a desire that they already have. So if we go back to the list, right? If they're a vegan and they're having a really hard time finding good vegan products, that's a desire they already have. If they're glow in the dark items and this is a person that really loves experience, that's a desire they have. Triple stuffed cookies, they've been looking for a foodie experience, that's a desire they already have. This could be something you could kind of ask your audience about too. If you're not totally sure, maybe give them a poll with a couple options and see what people gravitate towards. So should you also be thinking of a vibe or a niche if you're rural? Of course, yes, but I don't think it's as important as the connection aspect. Hey, Kelsey, good to see ya. Allie says, yes, being upfront with rural folks goes really far. Yeah, 100%. Hey, Anita. I'm sorry I didn't see these comments earlier. Hey, Anita, hope you're doing well. Yeah, Allie says I need to go. It was super cool. I just really like those gremlins, gremlin little statue. Well, they were kind of like, they looked like movie props, honestly, is what they looked like. They were really nice. Yes. So we want to try to get into that vibe. You know, what can we do to attract people? So many types of marketing strategies are important. Not just these two, but those are the ones that I've seen successful established businesses using full-time in those, 6,000 person communities, first 3 million community. What's the difference between the strong strategy? And that's what it is. Connection versus niche. So do you agree or disagree, right? Maybe you can tell me in the comments about how many people are in your area and which strategy works for you. If you have more to add to the discussion, I'm always open to it. I'd love to hear your experience, how you feel about the information. Are one of these going to work for you? Do you want to try it out? Do you need more info? Let me know in the comments. I'm always here to help. A reminder for those bakers who are ready to start and grow their business at hyper speed. You're hanging out in the group, you're having fun, but you're like really ready to get down to business and get some stuff done. We have a special offer going on for the new Elite Mentorship Program members. So this is something I've not done before. I'm offering it through July 16th, which I think is tomorrow. If you want more information about how you can get started with this program for over half off, message me or comment here and I'll send you all the info you need to check out the benefits. I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for people to get started because I understand there are some financial boundaries when you're starting out, and I want to make it as inviting and easy as possible for people to kind of see what's going on and get that information that they really truly need to get started. We can even set up a private phone call or a little Zoom chat if you want to talk to me in person, because I'd love to hear your story, hear what you have going on, and let you know if the Elites is a good fit or not. Because depending on your schedule or what you're trying to do, it might not be right for you right now. And I will definitely tell you that on the phone or on Zoom if you want to talk with me. Calls are available today and tomorrow because that's when this little offer is going on. So if you want to talk to me today or tomorrow, we can set up a time and we can chat together because I love talking to you. I'll definitely love bakers in this group. Okay, so hope to chat. I hope to chat with you soon. If you want to talk about that or anything else, you can get a slot. I'll send you the link for that. Otherwise, I'll see you in the group. You can post your questions if you have anything you want to talk about, and we can all weigh in and let you know what we think. Okay? All right. Oh, Allie says she cannot recommend the Elite group enough. Yes, Allie has been in for a while. She joined last year, and it changed her business. Aw. Yeah. I'm nice. I'm not weird. You can definitely talk to me. I'll help you out. Okay. All right, everyone. Thanks, Allie. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.